So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream with live peoples. I also recorded for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I'm currently working in the Johanna's Christmas colour book with my inktense pencils, and I've drawn some extra images around and traced them so that they look very similar to Joanne's original drawing, and I filled the space, and I've zoomed in a little bit to see if I can kind of see what's happening, so you can see. So hopefully the light will behave itself. So I've drawn a little bit, I've scribbled a tiny bit of bright blue into the blue bells. Try to do it in the corners, and then I've got a damp brush, and I'm just going to be very carefully teasing that blue. Once it's activated, I'm going to tease it down until probably we'll end up with hardly any colour right at the end. And I kind of like that colour, so I'm just going to put that there just to see if I can bring it's probably flashing out because it's the wrong colour, probably. It's not even liking my fingers today. Let me see if I can just do that with it and then move it out. That might be slightly better. So again, I've got a damp brush activating this inktense pencil scribble and then kind of teasing it down to fill that space. And every time I need a nice clean damp brush. Just need a damp brush. To activate this pencil, and try not to get too much of a line, but you know, if I do, I do. It's I can't understand why it's so flashed out colour-wise. I just don't understand it at all. I've got the same lights that I always have. Is that slightly better? Oh, that's slightly better. Right. So again, teasing out that colour. So thanks for stopping in, everybody, and I appreciate everybody's busy, and it's a different time all around the world. It's currently time is it in the UK? It's currently just after 5:15 in the evening here. So I hope you're all well and warm, because it's getting rather chilly out there. And so I'm quite enjoying playing in this Christmas book. I think I like the vibrant colours nicer. I think quite into some bright colours. So we've got 5, no we haven't, we've got 7 bluebells there instead of 5. I actually want to do a little Christmas present, so I was drawing. I've been using the children's tracing paper. And I was working on the little bird page, and I found a present, but I need a present that's going to fit level with the foot, so perhaps that one would work. It's too near the, maybe that little one. Maybe that one. I don't really want it to touch the, I don't really want it to touch the blue one. I don't really want a round one either. I want probably a little square one. It's probably going to have to be that one. So I can actually draw that in. If I draw around here and then round, I can draw that in quite nicely.
Are you alright? Do you need anything?
No thank you darling, I'm fine. No thank you, I haven't done the one you made me earlier, thanks. So you can see it quite just faintly there. So I take my isograph, and I do want a straight line, so I'm probably going to use something that gives me a straight line. Need that to be across. And then I can rub out the pencil lines. And what a way to go. Not go straight down that one. And that will go straight down. And then we can have draw the bow in. And there we have another little present. And we can draw stars on it. If it had stars on, I can't remember now. It didn't, but we can draw little stars on it. We can leave it just like that. I did actually want his paw touching it, but it's near as damn it. And so I'll leave that to dry just a little bit. So I need a finer brush because I want to do I've got an ivy colour for those. I'm going to use the apple green 114 in the Derwent Inktense. And I'm going to just draw the tiniest bit of colour, and I'm going to do it in the bottom of the stem. Do it in the bottom of each stem. And I'm going to have to need, now this is mine and it's a little bit of a fat, definitely a bit too big. I don't know why I put a curl on that. So again, there's a stem, and that's my stem, so it's a bit big. And then there's some leaves, and then there's another stem, and then another one, and this one didn't have a stem. I haven't drawn a stem, have I? No. I'm going to have to just draw a stem on this last one. There. So it can come all the way around and go to there. And that wants to be green. But I'll just leave that a little while, just a minute or two to dry. So this should be dry now. I can just take a clean corner of an eraser, just erase any tiny little bit of pencil mark. And then I can just put a little bit of green in there. And I need probably my 10-0 paintbrush for this. And just teasing that colour across. And just activating this pencil that I've scribbled into here. And again, mine is a little bit of an ugly fat stem, but we might just get away with it. And again, teasing that colour into there. So I did really want to get this Christmas colour book completed by Christmas, and then I bought 2 more, so it's going to be a long haul, I think. So if you activate the colour, you can then tease it up and it gives you a natural highlight without trying. We don't have to scribble in 10 different pencils or different shades of pencil, just a little bit of colour, and then the paintbrush does all the work for you. So I need a little bit of green in that one. So we put that one into here. Oopsie. So they look quite pale, not very Christmassy, but they look quite pale. We've got some ivy, so I do have an ivy colour. Put that one back. And that's the outline, so I don't know how to put that one anywhere. So I need an ivy colour. So I have a leaf green and I have a fern, but I think I liked, there's a light olive green. thought I had one called Ivy. So I normally have a quick look at the greens. So there's a fern green and a spring green, so they're quite nice. I think the fern green I'll do Ivy. And this is the Ivy down here. Need to smush everything up a bit. Wait a minute. So this is all the Ivy colour, so I just want to... And you can do different colours, or you can do the same colours. You can add different greens. You can add anything you want, really. But I like to just put the tiniest amount in the bottom corner. And so it's going to allow me to manipulate that colour around and just give it a little bit of a highlight. And just move up slightly. One thing you've got to decide though is once you've decided how you're going to colour it in, you need a bit of consistency. Just deciding if all these are going to be Ivy. I seem to have missed out that little line and everything, so I need to draw that first. Again, this is one I've drawn in. And behind the star. Do you think it's the same? No, that's the same as that one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the same as... No, it's not the same. I think they're all different, so I'm going to just have a go at these and see if we can colour these in. So I'll kind of manipulate that, and it's all gone into one, but I'm not particularly bothered about that. Activating that colour is quite nice. And I do have a bit of a highlight towards the edges. I'm teasing that colour out of there. So again, you just keep teasing that colour out. And these are quite vibrant, these colours, so they look quite nice. So I'll just move that down a bit. It looks slightly yellower than it is. So it's a lot quicker way to work than I normally do, but I don't know if quickness is any better. You've got to enjoy the process, otherwise there's no point doing it. Just taking the excess water off there. I think we've got some nasty rain outside now. They're quite bright though, actually. They are quite bright. I think we need to go now. I like to get the ivy and the holly, and then I can make the other colours up differently, but I like the rich ivy, the holly colour, which I normally use Hooker's Green because it's a really nice natural vibrant green. So if we look for Hooker's Green, Field Green is a little bit fake, but Hooker's Green is this one. I actually think I like I've used Fern Green for that, but that was quite bright, that. Spring Green's quite nice, but I think I like the beach slightly better. Yep, I like the beach slightly better. So I'm going to do the holly ones, the beach colour. So I'm going to fill them in first on the flat side. And then that can give me a highlight when I switch across. So I want a dead flat colour on here. And I've got to really be careful not to go over the line, because I can go under the line and then I can push that colour where I want it when I activate it, but I can't rub it out, so I've got to be very careful. Otherwise it ends up looking like scribble. And I think I'm going to go in with this size brush, so activate that. And then push that naturally to the other side for a highlight. Just at a bit of a funny angle, but activate that colour. And then tease that over there. For a bit of a highlight. And you can do that with all of them. So when you've got them, you want them, just flick them over to the other side for a natural highlight. And sometimes it's going to be quite pale, but you're going to get a nice natural highlight on there. So it does look sometimes like you can get a natural highlight. Last one. Oh, I missed one. I've missed a leaf. So all the holly leaves are done now. So I can put that green back and the other green that I cut out, which is gone somewhere. So that was beech. So hooker's green could be these over here and the actual stem, I think, possibly. Oh, bye, Scooby. Sorry, she's probably gone. I've just seen that. I get miles away when I'm colouring in. So I'm going to just scribble some colour into here. And I could do the outside if I want a different colour. And it's quite nice to and just keep in the line and just get a little bit of colour out onto there. Some more colour. And sometimes you do need a bit of a bigger point, but we'll get away with that hopefully. So they've all got a little bit of pencil on them. So the bigger ones are okay with this number 3 rigger, but I think the other ones will want a smaller one. So that was hooker's green, which is a really nice bright leaf green. Just gently activate that colour and then manipulate it right to the edges to get a nice neat edge. although these are quite intense colours, I'm using them very similar to an ordinary watercolour. So I think tomorrow, I may not be able to stream tomorrow morning. I suppose I could stream till 12. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens. And because I've activated some of this green here, I can just, if you have a big space, it gives you a lot of colour to then in there to colour something else if you've forgotten. So that's quite handy. But they're very easy to activate. You're just stroking a damp brush. So they're brilliant for colour books because you don't damage your pages. You don't crinkle them. And you can get some quite vibrant, vivid colours. Again, I missed that one behind there, but if I choose this big one here, stroke all that colour up, I should have enough to kind of manipulate this one. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the edge of the ivy yet. Sometimes that's quite nice to do that, a bit of a just not that one. I need a little bit more green. So I may have to put that one in there. So that's a different green. I just need the apple green because I found this particular bluebell that I forgot to do. Just activate that. So if you've forgotten, you don't have to worry about making another colour up, or you just go back to that pencil and then you damp brush and you start again. What colours have I got now? So I need the poinsettias. I don't think they look particularly like a poinsettia. I think they're a green leaf. But we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, and we want, I think we'll have the scarlet pink again because that's the one that isn't. It's a reddy red, not a pinky red. Oh no, I don't know actually, sorry, no. We actually do want a reddy red. We'll have a cherry. We'll have a cherry red. So we'll put that here. In the middle of them all. And then if we put that in there, that's going to give us a very vibrant colour. We could just do with another leaf down here. So I've done extra ones of these as well. Oops. And there's this one. So we've got quite a few of those now. Let's see if we can keep them all in there. I think this one would be unusual. Maybe a little bit just here. So this one is carmine pink and the inktense, and that's going to give a bit of a different colour to everything. So that wants another one behind there then. I think I've missed a little bit off that one. And then the outer one, I'm not really sure what colour I should do the outer one. So I'll just think about this. So you can either do it all at once, or you can do it, colour a little bit and then a bit more. And then just this last one down here. I think I might want like a bit of a darker answer. I think we'll go with a bit of Shiraz. I think that might be quite nice. And just carefully stroking that Shiraz colour. I think that's going to be quite interesting, that. And again, it just looks like a lot of scribble at the moment. But when these colours are activated with waters, they kind of really do kind of pop out. And this one. So although you are putting pencil in, you don't have to be as precise as if you were colouring it in, ready for blending. So I find that a little bit easier. I just find that a little bit easier. You can just try and get a little bit of colour there. And that little bit of colour is going to go an awfully long way. And then there's just a couple down, 3 down here to do, or 4, I've had another one. So just and sometimes it's just and we're going to be using a 10-0 pencil, so it's got a lot of manoeuvrability even in such a small space. So once this colour is activated and becomes a watercolour, you can push it around and really start to so we'll put that one away, and the middles I don't need the smallest one, so the middles I'm using a number 3. And we start here, and it does need to be a damp brush. If you watch, all that colour just kind of pops out of nowhere. And it's just the damp brush, so you know that this paper is not going to buckle in any way, and yet you've got all that colour on it. And that's the beauty of this way of working. You just work with a damp brush. It doesn't matter what size space you are colouring in. The colour's already there, you're just activating it. And so you can scribble on a massive page and you've still got the same effect. And you're using a damp brush, so you're not adding more water the bigger the space. You're just adding the same amount. And I just find that works quite brilliantly. You just have to keep your brush damp, but you can tell how many you can do, whether it's manoeuvring that paint around or not. But the riggers do really well for this. If you had another brush, you'd probably have to keep going back, but the riggers are damp for longer. But there comes a moment when you think, I need to make it damp. So if you did all your colours first, you could then just sit with a damp brush and activate all your colours. I have one more to do here. And then we go down the next one. And then the middle, I think that was fuchsia pink, wasn't it, I think. So we activate the next colour. And then the next colour. And you just keep going until all the middle fuchsias are done. So this is quite a big one, this one. You just tease that colour everywhere. And then so you just keep going until you finish them all. So I'll just finish these off and then I'll stop the video because that's been going for an hour and Ustream kind of just likes an hour. So we'll fill this up and then so I hope you don't find this too boring on YouTube because it's just, you have to fast forward it to the end and then you can see what the end looks like when it's all finished. And you're just teasing that colour out. And then we've got the next middles to do. So you can either do the same colour or you can do different colours, or you can add lots of different middles. There's so many ways you can colour in. And then by adding water, and then we know the last one. You've got the last colour to tease. I think that's where I was going to go with the 0, but I decided I was going to do this one. So that's the last one, so that's quite nice because it ends them. You don't want a wet brush though, you want just a damp one. one. That's quite a nice colour at the end. It's really making those poinsettias stand out now. So when I finish this will be the end of this part. Then we can do the bunny in the centre. The more fun part. So it's quite nice to activate this. And then we can do this. So it's made them all kind of pop out now. They all. It's filling the page with some quite nice colour. So you can just swizzle across, and you've got about 4 to do. So again, I'm going to push that down there. Then when I come up there, I'm going to take that up there to give an actual bit of a highlight up there. So just keep going all the way around. And you've got 2 more to do, and then we can so we've done that one. Done that one. So I'll zoom out and show what that looks like. Too far. Too far. Yeah, have a look. So that's halfway. So that's not too bad, halfway.